Yeah, just moving right along. Had a good day yesterday. Good competition. Like the way the guys moved around. We got different situation today. Yesterday was kind of low red zone, as you saw, and today is really third and medium to a little bit less than that. So kind of put the guys in tough situations as much as we can. Most of it's passing situations today with no pads on. So just try to string 2 good days together.
Well, that was sort of like that you guys practiced with yesterday. The tempo was sort of impressive.
Yeah, credit the assistant coach. Look, we got to get from drill to drill. We got to move quickly. We got to get in and out of the huddle. When we go no huddle, it's got to be quick and crisp, and then we got to play fast, finish plays, build our endurance in that regard. But the guys did a good job of running around again first day, so we probably have a few sore guys out there just from being off a little bit in the summer, and we're going to have to push through it and keep building.
That was really your first look at Kadarius on the field, right? You didn't really see him in the spring in regards
in
to
person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were your impressions?
Yeah, he's, again, being around him, he's a smart football player. He picks up things well in the meeting room. You can tell he has instincts, even with him out on the field, the questions that he asks and the things that he sees. And, we evaluated him when I was at Buffalo. Obviously, we thought he was a good player. Quickness and speed and ability to do different things, run different routes, and it was good to see him out there with his teammates.
Did you see that all from him? I mean, he's obviously coming back from a little knee procedure. So.
Yeah. No, I thought he was. I thought he looked good. We got to try to string 2 together now.
He was pretty heavily used last year as a gadget guy, which I'm sure you know. And he lines up yesterday outside receiver, makes that ridiculous pure receiver catch. What did you make of that, and what do you think of his ability to, be more than just a gadget guy?
Yeah, really, I just go back to it's one day at a time. It's practice. There's going to be a lot of different things we ask a lot of different players to do, and don't get overhyped with one play or mad about another play. I mean, that's what practice is for.
How do you come out?
Well, juice. No. Right there in the moment, yeah. Right there in the moment, a couple of those guys, I think that's important to come together as a team, too, is show emotion for one another, player to player, coach to player, coach to coach. That's part of the team building process.
How did you come out yesterday physically? You good to go full tonight?
Mm-hmm.
How about Wandale, Coach? I mean, yeah, nice look at your little corner out there yesterday. Talk about him a little bit. What are you seeing from him?
Yeah, well, that goes back to kind of the draft process of watching him and seeing what he's done and vision that we have for the kid, young man, should I say. Smart. He's another smart, instinctive player. We put him through a lot of tests and things like that in terms of before we drafted him, like we do with all our players, to make sure they kind of have the qualities that we look for. And we moved him around. We'll continue to move him around. Again, this is his first training camp practice, so I'm not going to get too high, don't get too low. Let's just try to string them together. But good young guy to work with. He just needs to keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Is there anything that kind of surprised you about him, that you had him, in front of you for the last few months?
No, we did our due diligence on him, and he's done a good job. He's earning our trust day by day.
Brian, obviously a lot of pre-snap motion in this offense. What does that accomplish? What are you trying to gain by using that?
We're stationary. Yeah, no. Look, each day we kind of emphasize particular things. I know yesterday there was a lot of that. There'll be, probably some today. But I think that each week, we're just installing our plays right now and, installing motions, installing shifts so the guys can get used to running them. There's time to do it, there's time not. We got to make sure we're getting in and out of the huddle when there's longer plays with different types of motions. So you're practicing all those things, Dan, so that when you want to run them, when it really counts, that you've practiced them enough you feel comfortable with them.
Brian, does that put more on players? Is it more fun for them, number one, and is it more demanding? You're asking them to do all that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. You'd have to ask those guys. I'm not really too much worried about fun. What we're trying to do is whatever we need to do to help our guys and cause conflicts, issues with the defense. And is it more to learn? Sure, because there's added calls to it. You start on one side and you have to be on the other side. You got to start in the backfield and be out here. And there's a little bit of thinking that goes along with it. So again, back to the identity. You know, smart is the first thing that we look for, and we certainly, you know, we put a lot on these players. One, because I think they can handle it, and if they can't, you know, we'll tighten it back and make sure we do the things that they can do. But again, first day of training camp, we're going to go through another however many of these guys. There's going to be more stuff at it and different things that we do, and that's all really to prepare yourself when you start playing games. That's what practice is for.
Coach, I know that. What did you think of Daniel Jones' decision making yesterday and the speed with which he
Thought it was good. Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought he was crisp in the huddle. Again, made some really tight throws, good throws. That's why we worked red zone. Really, one, to get their legs back a little bit, and two, this is an area that we got to improve on. So we'll just string 2 good days together here.
Coach, I know Aaron Robinson had played a little bit of outside cornerback
Yeah.
in college, mostly slot though.
Mhm.
Now that you have him converting more to the outside, what have you seen from him so far? What makes him such a good fit for the outside?
Yeah, he's done a good job of playing man-to-man coverage, and you know, good job with the zone stuff when Wink calls zone. He's a smart guy. He's got good movement skills. You know, he's a good young player to work with. It'll be a good camp for him to keep improving his skill set and compete with the other guys.
Does the move to the outside actually complement his skills a little bit better than maybe in the slot?
It's a little bit of a different game. You know, outside there's usually one guy you're dealing with if you're a man-to-man team. Inside there's a lot of different things that happen with extra players dropping out. It's a little bit of a different game, but he's done a good job of doing the things we've asked him to do, and look forward to him to continue to improve.
Brian,
Yeah.
how has red zone specifically, I mean, I know it was only one day watching you, but how has the approach in the red zone offensively changed through the years? I mean, it seemed like there was a time where the league trend was spread them out, and now it seems like it's more bunch, movement, flood guys.
I think each coordinator, each play caller, if you will, kind of has their own fingerprint on what they like to do. Whether that's copycat some other successful plays, whether it's, what you're trying to do as a coach is utilize the players the best way you can utilize them to help get the ball into the end zone, which is ultimately the main goal of an offense. So to have, again, I wouldn't say we're just one thing. We're doing different things. I'd say we have a lot of things that we could do, and we will do during these training camps to figure out what we're really good at. But I think that's more of a, one coordinator might see it a different way. And again, what you have and how you're working with it and what abilities your quarterback has, I think, play into it.
I presume you're still going through the process of determining whether you or Mike will call plays.
Yeah.
And so what is your process throughout this camp of kind of working through how that will work, the operation in practice?
Yeah, Mike's done a really good job in the spring, which he handled, the scripts. And again, we talk on a day-to-day basis on plays and things to install, but he's been on the headset with Daniel, and he'll be doing that through camp. And as we get closer to it, we'll sit down, discuss it. But I've been really happy with Mike, not just his communication with the quarterback, but how he's handled the offensive staff, how he's handled the players. He has a really good demeanor about himself. So once we cross that bridge, which we still got a little bit here to go, you guys will know.
Brian, you've
So
always
just
viewed
following up on that more.
Leonard Williams as an opponent, as an offensive guy,
Yeah.
scheming against him. What did you think of him all those years? And then what do you think of him now when he's on your side?
Yeah, well, it's good to get to know him as a person. One, I thought he was a really good player. Got good length, causes issues inside, has power, has quickness, athletic, drafted high for a reason. Really, it's just getting to know the person and what a great person he is, cares about his teammates, smart football player. So he's he's a good guy to work with, a good guy to.
Is he request that he wears that Hogan shirt that rips
Ah.
all the time? You like that look on him?
Yeah, he took that from Wink in his college days.
You know who grabbed him? You know who got him?
No.
Just to follow
One
up,
more,
Brian,
one more.
on the play calling thing real quick, and sorry. So you're having Mike kind of do this throughout the whole process. Would it be like jarring to change to you on the headset, like starting week 1? You know what I mean? Like
I talk to Daniel between every play.
Okay.
I meet with Daniel a lot. Like, we have a good relationship, working relationship, but I think that it's good right now for Mike to be able to do those things with Daniel with the offense.
How much would you look to build the offense? You know, you looked at obviously the personnel you have.
Sure.
Did you look at Saquon and say, look, I need to use him in different ways as a receiver? Because you know, from my perspective at least, when we see him on the field, he's probably running more routes down the field maybe than he has in the past.
Yeah, Jordan, that's a good question. When you get to a place, whether it's as a head coach or a play caller, the first thing you need to do is to figure out what makes your players tick the best you can, and build relationships with them before anything. And then once you get them out in the spring and you see their skill set and what they can do, you have a vision for them maybe before you got to the place. And then until they're actually doing things that you're going to ask them to do, or you come up with some new things that they've done in the past that they really feel comfortable with, I think that's the job of a coach. And we're a far way away from that right now. We're still experimenting with things and putting guys in different spots and utilizing, you know, offensively, defensively in the kicking game. We're moving guys around to see what they can do, and that's what you need to do this time of year is build your fundamentals, but also figure out, you know, exactly what you got in each of your players, how much they can handle mentally. You know, or do you have to pull back? Can you add more stuff? Hey, today let's add as much as we can add just to put as much pressure on these guys to see if they can pick it up. And if you have a bad practice or things aren't going well, at least, you know, you put that in your memory bank and you say, hey, you know, week 1, week 2, remember now, we try to do this in the beginning part of camp or the 3rd week of camp and it didn't go too well. Let's have some awareness about ourselves as a coaching staff so we're not putting these guys in bad spots.
Did you see that from him though, or was it just that you know that part of the game, that receiving part, or is that just part of your offense?
No, you see him. I mean, you saw him coming out of Penn State. You see him running around here. He's a pretty skilled player. So our job is to figure out ways to use him. Whether he did it last year, the year before, 2 years in college, I think, you know, when you're developing in a system, you kind of figure out what these guys do best, and you challenge them to do more. And you know, if it doesn't look great, then you see if you want to keep pursuing it, and if you want to keep pursuing it, then you got to get them better. If not, you just throw it away and do something else.